Hey, what is up guys? It is Samool, and today we're going to be talking about how you guys can easily climb the ranks in Arena with a completely auto team centered around Landy. So basically the way you guys want to set this up is have your Landy on a bruiser build, anything above 1k defense and 15k health, while maintaining about 200 or more speed, and of course you're going to want some damage on her as well, so I recommend 100% crit chance, 250% crit damage, and for attack, honestly anything above 3000 is okay. Now for a set, you want to run speed set and pen set. If you guys don't have pen set, critical hit chance set works as well, and so does immunity set. And for her artifact, guiding light is going to be very good on her. If you guys don't have access to guiding light, I would recommend using something like bloodstone to actually give her more healing, and even something like a proof of valor if I can find it here, which will give her more survivability because of that damage reduction she will actually get with this. Guiding Light is very good though because it'll stop her from getting sniped out from random single target effects, but for the most part if you don't have it and you have like Bloodstone and Proof of Valor, you should be okay using those artifacts as well. Now for your team comp surrounding Landy guys, I would definitely recommend running 2 Soul Weavers and 1 Knight. You want a Knight to hold Aureus. If you're using SC Arrowell, which is a very good option, you can run her on Adamant Shield because of her escort. But for one of the Soul Weaver slots, you're definitely going to want Rwana because her S2 gets so much value in the current meta here. Every single team that you see on your screen here in my first page is going to have counters. So you're basically getting a ton of value for every single one of these teams, which makes her pretty much a staple in every single offense team that you're running for auto. And for your secondary Soul Weaver slot, I like to run one with an attack buff, so Diane, Amelia if you have her, even made Chloe, she's very good as well. If you guys don't have a good attack buffing Soul Weaver, you can use anything else. Like a Momo is still fine as well, even like a Angelica if you're very new to the game and you don't have other good Soul Weavers, she's very good as well, in case you don't have another Soul Weaver at your disposal. But yeah, I think Rwana is kind of a must-have. If you don't have Rwana, you can use something like a Destina or something with a Revive, but just keep in mind that the value you get from Rwana is super high. Now for the Knight slot, you can run something like Lacerated Crow, very good because he will proc his S3 over and over, give you immunity, which is very nice. Unbound Knight Arrowell, which is very good with her mitigation and her barrier and her stun as well. But for the most part, I'm going to be running Troublemaker Crozet because of the fact that also I have him on the wrong artifact. Let me actually switch this very quickly. Now my Troublemaker Crozet doesn't have that much investment here. You're going to see his Mulgoras aren't even like fully maxed, but to be honest, he's just here to soak damage. Just make sure he's on the Oath of Protection S3, which will see our push, so you can actually push his Landy and be more useful in allowing her to do more damage. So yeah, right side team here, pretty standard stall team. Let's just see how it goes. I'm not going to commentate on every single detail just because it is pretty simple how it should work, because basically all you're doing here is just clicking the auto button, right? Making sure your skills are on, and you should be able to climb pretty easily this way if you have your units decently bulky. I would definitely focus on making your units more tankier, especially your Landy, rather than focusing on damage, because eventually you'll wear the other side down because Landy is so strong at just doing damage in long fights. And as you're seeing already, like Landy's just doing a ton of work with just her first S3 here. And just keep in mind, because the current arena defense meta has a lot of buffs, like Ikarina has a barrier and a defense buff, right? And you also see Escort always on SC Arrowell with her effectiveness. You're actually going to get a lot of value out of her, out of Landy's S3. And this is why I like to bring Troublemaker Crozet. He does get stunned there, which is pretty unfortunate, but doesn't really matter. He's just here to soak that S3 so that my Landy can be safe in case her Guiding Light doesn't proc. It just makes it a lot more consistent, and I think, you know, even if you don't have LR Crow, you should be fine because Landy can solo the damage, and also because even SC Arrowell's like mitigation is kind of over the top when you're running double Soul Weavers. So I like to have Troublemaker Crozet because he can actually push up Landy and make her do more damage, and also he's just there for more damage mitigation actually, and also to, you know, soak the light units. He's basically the light bait, and you're gonna see a lot of light units on defenses. You'll see like SC Arrowell, you'll see like Savior Aiden, which makes him very good at actually soaking, you know, those important skills. Like Savior Aiden's S3 will pretty much one-shot almost anything that's squishy, so it's very important to actually make sure that you have a bait for that so you don't get RNG'd. Now you might lose some battles, to be honest, but I would say for the most part you'll be winning like 90% if you are hitting the right teams. Definitely want to stay away from fire units because Landy does struggle against those because she is earth. But there's not a lot of good fire units in arena defense teams, so basically you should be fine for the most part. But just keep in mind, like, she's very bad against like Milim, like Fire Charlotte, just anything that is red. So yeah, you have to be very careful. Now, yeah, pretty safe team. Basically, you're gonna sit here for a while. But if you do have a lot of time on your hands, or you can like alt tab or do something else or go on a second monitor, it's very, very good to climb and try to get the champion right away, because getting the champion will give you those crystals to actually, stay free to play and be able to pull for almost every single banner that you need to, and you just get a very, very nice chunk of skystones every single week. But yeah, this battle's pretty much wrapped up, as you guys can see here. Like, it's not even close. Landy is literally just doing all the damage, and my team is taking no damage. I bought energy because we have that hunt event running. If you guys aren't farming, make sure you're farming. But yeah, pretty simple. And yeah, you're gonna see like Troublemaker Crozet just pushing up the Landy here over and over. It's very, very nice, and it just makes her super tanky with that. She pretty much has like permanent critical hit resistance buff, so even if it gets stripped sometimes by Bellion, you're gonna see that it will get reapplied eventually by DN or Troublemaker Crozet. And anything with AoE will also be proccing, or have a chance to proc Troublemaker Crozet's passive here, so it's very, very nice. So yeah, pretty simple. This lightning will never kill you guys, trust me. Like, Landy has way too much damage. Even against a full stall team, Landy still will out DPS them if you have her on enough damage. So yeah, it's just a matter of time where you will win. And yeah, this battle's pretty much wrapping up now. Maybe Destina gets revive out, but should be fine. Honestly, if you're not like super AFK and just like not paying attention at all, you can actually just click on the Destina here and actually just focus her. But honestly, we don't need to. That just speeds it up. It's not really mandatory for the run, because yeah, like focusing Destina will stop her from reviving, so you can kill faster. But honestly, Landy's S3 should one-shot everything at this point because her S2 is fully ramped. But yeah, it does slow down the run. So if you're pushing for like Legend 1, you're going to notice that you do want to speed up your run sometimes. So instead of being like fully auto, you might want to like click on some units here and there. But yeah, if you're just climbing up to champion to camp, this should be fine for the most part. But yeah, like I said, if you're climbing higher for the one-time Skystones, definitely want to make sure you're focused targeting stuff so you can actually, kill them faster and climb faster. Now, like I said, you can always switch around this team comp depending on what you want, depending on the teams you fight, right? If you guys have like Adventure Ross, you can be fine against teams that are, harder to kill without defense breaks. If you are looking to go against a cleave team, you can just run like Green Armin or like Crimson Armin even against them. You can run like other soul weavers that are very good into cleave, like Maid Chloe, like I mentioned, or even like Fallen Cecilia as a tank who's very good against cleave. Really up to you, but for the most part, any knight, any soul weaver combination with Landy should be pretty fine for whatever you're looking for. As you guys can see, been talking forever now, but that's because I'm trying to fill in the time so you guys can see I'm fully autoing this and not really manualing anything, because it's super, super free. You just sit here and wait and alt tab and do something else. So yeah, only bad thing is it does take some time, but for the most part, very, very safe and should be pretty free here. I think Landy will get an S3 off here and probably get another S1, and she should die unless she gets another revive off where it actually won't matter, because yeah, Landy S3 does so much damage. So here we go, yada yada yada, a lot of animations, but yeah, very, very safe, very, very free. And yeah, you can use this team to climb very easily. The only thing is Landy is limited, but her banner is currently running and DN is limited. But you can also substitute DN out for another Soul Weaver and it should be fine. And DN's just here for the attack buff, to be honest, and for the cleansing. Like a Momo would work as well, it's just gonna be a little bit slower. So just in case you guys actually don't have DN because she is a limited unit, we'll just use a Momo here, Angelic Montmorancy. You guys should all have her maxed out because she's very good for PvE. Basically you just want high effect resist to cleanse, and yeah, basically standard Soul Weaver stuff. If you guys are wondering how she's at like 300% effect resist, she gets 70% basically from her skill tree. So it's pretty easy to get her higher. You obviously don't need her this high. You can probably get her to at least like 200 and you're fine. But because just want to play it safe here and there's a lot of AOLs out there that could be on high effectiveness, I just have her on super high effectiveness here. But basically it's the same thing. You're just going to notice that the runs will be a little bit slower. Honestly though, this run might be faster here because they don't have any healing or revives, because last fight we saw Destina. But you're also going to see here, this is why I really, really like Troublemaker Crozet here, because nothing is living there, by the way, from the Savior Aiden S3. So basically what's happening here is this Troublemaker Crozet, who's on terrible gear and it's not even like really optimize at all is just soaking everything, and then basically he's pretty much done his job. Honestly, he can just kind of do nothing now, but because he did live through everything and gets healed up, he will do a lot on the field. So he basically soaked everything here, and just very, very powerful. Even if you're running DN, you can actually run her on high ER and run her into the AOL and do the same thing as Amomo did here in Cleanse. But honestly, like Amomo, you can see like works fine here as well. Now this fight will probably take a while because of the fact that there is a skill nully, and there's going to be a lot of ramping up Landy has to do, but should still be probably pretty safe for the most part here. And we do get a counterattack, and yeah, now we're finally going to boost up. And I do believe my Rowana is on very bad gear, so she didn't even get her S3 off because she was silenced. She was on low ER, but yeah, I'll show you guys all the stats at the end of the video anyways. But you guys can see it's pretty safe, even though he's getting dual attacks. Cool. Just have a lot of healing here, and Rowana will get that S3 off. And this, at this point, after you get into like, you know, the first 2 turn cycles, and Landy gets her like second S3 off, that's when you're gonna notice the fights start ending very quickly. But for the most part, yeah, just sitting here. And honestly, if I was optimizing, you know, I'd be hitting different targets here. But yeah, you can kind of see why Rowana is kind of like critical. I think the other knight and Slaver's spot don't really matter too much, but I really think like Rowana's spot cannot really be replaced because yeah, Rowana is just too good here. Like as you guys can see, like everything has counters, right? So why pray to RNG when you can just run Rowana, and you know, it doesn't matter if they counter you or not, right? You're just CR pushing and healing, like right here, right? Just always full health, always CR pushing, and with Troublemaker Crozet, I'm also CR pushing as well, even further. Like yeah, Troublemaker Crozet went up like 30% there, so yeah, another S3 comes out here, shouldn't really matter. I think my Landy will take down the SCROL here eventually, right? With one more S1, because she is ramped up. Yep, dual attack doesn't matter. And now it's pretty much, you know, just waiting for the next Landy S3 to pretty much one-shot everything, right? And actually, Amomo actually does a lot of work here with the cleansing, which is very, very nice. But yeah, Troublemaker Crozet also can dispel buffs from his from the Landy here, which is super clutch. And yeah, this is why I really like Troublemaker Crozet, because yeah, he's just soaking all these big hits. I tried this actually with SE ROL, and I was like, my Landy gets hit sometimes if Guiding Light doesn't proc, and I was like, what's a good Dark Knight? And I was like, Fallen Cecilia, probably very good, right? But I think Troublemaker Crozet is a lot more accessible than other people, and honestly, I think he might be just better overall right now, just because you see Bellions on like so many teams just proccing, and you guys probably see a lot of ML Landys as well, which just gets destroyed by this team as well. So yeah, you guys can see, very consistent team, very easy. Just me talking because we're just sitting here for a bit. But yeah, definitely recommend this team for people climbing into champion. It should be super free. Obviously there are some like ML 4-stars and 5-star units, but Rowana should be available from the side story. You can get her there, I'm pretty sure, if not, correct me. And Troublemaker Crozet can be replaced by a lot of other knights, although he's doing a lot of work. But Landy's banner is currently running, so definitely want to get her. She's so good everywhere, especially for newer players. She's going to be like your best unit for like a year or two. Like she's even like maybe even longer. She's so strong. I've been playing this game for so long, and I still love my Landy. I always have her built. I use her pretty much everywhere, and I use her a lot in my arena offense teams, and even in like Guild Wars offense and like World Arena. So not only is she a monster in PvE, guys, but as you guys can see, she's extremely good in PvP. So yeah, I'll show you guys the stats on my units here, and then we can actually end the video here. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.